So he showed our DMs, but he thinks it makes him look good when I'm like, this just makes you look like a fucking moron. So I like don't even know what he's had. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get any of this. Yeah, talking to him makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I never know what the fuck is going on about. It is actually like talking to like one of the crazy crackhead homeless people.
Well. Yo, look who it is, WillyMac. Hello, mate.
Am I interrupting your live stream? Are you live streaming?
Oh shit, yes I am.
Okay, no problem. I was just had to call you about the Viper stuff. So he's all mad at me because did he sue you a year ago? How long has this been going on?
Well, sue isn't quite the right terminology, just to be clear. He filed a DMCA. I mean, you know about this already, but he filed a DMCA strike against me that was knocked back by YouTube, presumably because he didn't fill the form out correctly. And then he's gone and sought out a lawyer, and they've both kind of badgered YouTube until in the last couple of days they took it down. Right.
Okay, so there's been nothing actually like filed against you.
No. Just the copyright strike, which has obviously gone through now, which I think is why he's now made this video, because the video is now
Are you going to refute it or no?
Probably not. I thought about it and people have said otherwise, but I just think it's quite clear. I don't know if you've seen his latest video, but I'm told that he says in it that like he wanted me to respond so he can actually file a lawsuit against me. And you know, that's potentially tens of thousands of dollars down the drain defending against this. It just doesn't seem worth it from my perspective when I can just tank the copyright strike for 3 months and that's it, you know?
Right. Does he live in Australia, right? He doesn't live in your country, right?
No, so he lives in Australia, and part of the DMCA takedown is arguing that jurisdiction for this would fall within Australia. Which is not something I would even necessarily agree with. And if I was to, you know, file a counterclaim or whatever, I would obviously push back on the idea that it should definitionally be in Australia, because it doesn't really make sense why, when I'm in the UK and YouTube's in the US, why it would get filed in Australia. But anyway,
yeah, I see. Yeah, so this is shit you would actually need a lawyer for, because I don't know either.
Precisely, exactly, and that's the other issue too. Is if I want to file a response to the DMCA, I can't just type out a response if he's definitely going to file a lawsuit. I'd need to seek out and pay a lawyer.
So why is he blowing up my DM? Like, what did I share a year ago from our DMs? Did I leak a bunch of my DMs with this guy?
Well, I've just covered this, and I think in the course of my coverage, I alluded broadly to the fact that he was in people's DMs. I don't know if I ever mentioned anyone specifically, but I just think I broadly said that my understanding is he was going around to creators and running kind of damage control.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fair characterization, having seen more of the DMs now. That's exactly what he was doing, because he wasn't talking publicly about it, but he was going to creators behind the scenes to try and argue his sort of corner, so to speak.
It's like I'm talking to a schizophrenic with this guy, man. It's like I'm trying to just ask like some basic questions in our DMs, and he just replies to me with like bricks of dialogue where it's not even related. I don't even know what he's on about.
Bro, it's so funny you say that, because I looked at it and I was like, this guy seems schizophrenic. Like, why is he going at WillyMac? Because you tweeted out something.
Well, he doesn't even answer what I'm asking to, like, most of the time. So I'm just like reiterating, and then when I realize I'm not getting anything, I just am like, okay, fine. Like, I don't care anymore. You win, man.
Well, yeah, because when I saw your tweet, because I think you retweeted my tweet about it, and then I saw your tweet where you said, what is DarkViper going on about? I didn't know what it meant. I thought, oh, are you just talking about his video, or has he talked about you in his video? I'm not sure. Like, what did you mean by that tweet?
So yeah, of course he mentioned me in my video just like a little bit, and I was whenever that happens, of course you're gonna have like a few audience members that spam you that. So I end up watching this section, and it's just him like going into my DMs being like, yeah, he calls me the fair use guy. When would I ever say I'm the fair use guy? That's like calling me the Lego guy. And I'm like, what is he like? I don't even know what this is. Like, what's he on about here? And then on top of that, I see that he's filing like he's getting like a lawyer to try and intimidate you and take down your shit. So I was like, dude, this guy's just going like full off the rails on what is normal internet content, which is React content.
Hang on a minute, slow down. So he was sorry. He showed your DMs in his video.
So he showed our DMs, but he thinks it makes him look good when I'm like, this just makes you look like a fucking moron. So I like don't even know what he's had. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get any of this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm biased, okay, because I'm against this guy for
Mhm.
a number of different reasons. But I looked
Did
at
you
the
see
inter.
what I retweeted? I retweeted when he leaked the messages, being like, "Here's the full context," because I guess he
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
what I posted is showing missing context. He looks insane there.
No, I mean, I obviously agree. Like, he sent you like a wall of fucking text, talking a bunch of shit, and it's like, what is he even trying
Yeah,
to say here? And just to confirm, was that at the time of the original drama before he'd spoken about it? Is that right?
yeah, that was at the time of the original drama.
Right. Okay. And I mean,
Yeah.
look, obviously you may be biased yourself, but I'll just ask you: do you think it's fair to characterize his behavior as damage control?
Um, so I would call it that way, but I just can't say without actually watching the original. I need to watch the original work. I need to get the context of all of this information before I no, because I don't even know if what you reacted to was fair use. You sent me it, but I haven't seen it yet. So I think like a lot of that depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
but it is odd that like I didn't even reach out to him. I think the original conversation was I tweeted under Tom like, yeah, like under a Turkey Tom tweet like, yeah, he should respond as to why he filed a DMCA. He should clarify on this. And then he went into my DMs and was just hitting me with walls of text that didn't really have much to do with
Oh, I
anything.
see. So
It
right.
was basically the conversation was was him saying like there's no point in me trying to convince anybody, and I'm like, well, clarifying why you're doing something, like there's a point to that. And he's like, no, it's as pointless as your like Hassan videos because they aren't going to convince his audience to stop watching. So why should I make waste my time trying to convince people? And it's like,
And now he's
I
come up
don't
with a
even
video about it anyway.
understand. Yeah, it's like I don't really fucking get it. Yeah, and now he's made a video a year later, so it's just kind of like a weird way to frame it. But yeah, talking to him makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I never know what the fuck he's going on about. It is actually like talking to like one of the crazy crackhead homeless people.
I mean, look, obviously it's difficult because I'm going to agree with you. I think the guy's a fucking nutter. I think, the trouble is when it comes to React content, I think obviously if you just sit there and do an actual watch, I mean, he's trying to characterize my video as a watch party, which is insane to me. A watch party is when you sit there and don't say anything, right? Or make very limited
Hmm.
comments while it's playing, perhaps. And like the original video is 20 minutes and your video is 22 minutes long, say. That to me is more like a watch party, right? Whereas
Yeah.
he'd uploaded a stream clip that was 9.5 minutes long, and I watched it and it became a 34-minute React video, so to speak. And that's
So you
what I
didn't
ended
even
up doing.
watch like the whole video. It was just one
Well,
bit
no,
of his stream.
to be clear, it was a stream segment that he put onto YouTube, right?
Okay.
So, in terms of like it being on YouTube, he would probably argue, well, that's a full work on YouTube, but it did come from like a 9 minute, 10 minute stream segment or so that he'd done. So it's up to you what you think of that, I guess. But to me, that's a
Yeah,
very different
it
matter to.
depends. I mean, doesn't he live stream? Does he not react to anything?
Well, I think.
Because reacting to content, like it depends on how you do it. But I mean, their React content can be fair use. So I don't even get what he's saying. And then like on top of that, it's United States fair use law, right? Because it's YouTube, as far as I understand it. But I don't know. You live in the UK.
Yeah, I mean,
This gets confusing. This all gets
it,
odd.
yeah, I mean, obviously, and this is the other reason because there's a lot of people that are kind of like, no, you should do it. It's funny. Both my fans want me to do it because they think it'd be funny content, and his fans want me to do it because they think I'll just get fucking routed in court. But the
Let
reality
me
is,
guess. You were negative towards him in this video, though.
yeah, of course, yeah, I was shitting on him constantly for being in
Yeah, it's
retard.
not going to be like if it was a positive video, does he strike you? Like
Well, I mean,
I don't
I
know. It
put.
seems like such a fucking thing where he's just ass mad, dude. He just comes off as ass mad to me.
Well, the way I look at it is, like if you've got a 30-second TikTok, right? Like that's
Hmm.
your IP, and if you really want to, then yeah, you could file a DMCA if someone reacted to a 30-second TikTok. But if that react was like substantial enough, it would just seem like such a petty move. Like it just comes across as very petty on his part, you know? Where of course, you can file a DMCA to protect your IP if you wish. People do it all the time, but it doesn't mean that you're necessarily right, even if YouTube takes it down, because it has to go to court to be decided. But I just don't have the means to take it all the way to court, particularly when it's a complicated international case and we don't even know where exactly it would be filed, Like, would I have to get a fucking Australian lawyer to fight it? Would I have to get an American lawyer to fight it? It's just
I
too...
mean, if like he can't take you to court in Australia court because what the fuck? If you just ignore him, right? You don't have to. You don't have to answer to that, surely.
Well, I mean, this is the other trouble as well, is these are questions that would need to be answered,
What
but
is the
I'd need to
UK
pay a
fair?
lawyer.
Yeah, what is UK fair use law?
UK is fair dealing, and I think it's quite similar to US law, maybe a little bit less protective, I think, of the kind of derivative work, maybe. But my understanding of it is that it's not that you can't necessarily use a whole work, it's just that you should only use the amount of work that's required to do what you're doing. And
Yeah,
obviously
because
you
in the
can't...
United States, you can use the whole work. It just depends on if it replaces the market for the video. Which, if you're being critical of him, I mean that like 100% falls in line directly with what fair use is.
Well, the problem
Especially
is,
if you don't like get up and leave during the video or some stupid shit.
I don't think, no, I don't think I did. Normally, I mean, if I'm like grabbing a drink for like 5 seconds, I might switch my
Hmm.
camera off for 5 seconds. Not in that video, but maybe in another video, like 5 or 10 seconds maybe.
Sure.
But if I go away to like take a piss or away for a couple of minutes, I just put on my own content so I don't have any issues with like walking away. Um, in fact, while we're on the line, because this is something I want to ask you, because a lot of people point to you
Yeah.
and say, "Why is Willie Mac defending this guy? Like he's a fair use guy, and he's criticizing this guy, but he's defending this guy, but he's
Defending what
criticizing..."
guy? Is
As
that
in me,
you or him?
as in me, as in like, you're more defensive of me, or in opposition to Dark Viper criticizing him, but you've been critical of, say, Hassan in the past. So, like, what
I
is
mean,
your
I
actual
haven't seen any
perspective?
of this criticism, but yeah, I would say that my view is I think I just abide by the fair use law. I think fair use law is very, and as the way the United States enforces it is very is like the best way, where it's like if you're making a work and you're being critical of it, or you're as long as you're not replacing the market for the original content, then I think you're probably then I think your content should be good. It should stand on its own then. Like for instance, like I have a video where uh talking about like Hassan or talking about Jack Doherty or whatever. If you watch my video on Jack Doherty or on Hassan, it doesn't mean Hassan can't exist anymore. It doesn't replace the market for Hassan content because I'm critical of him and I'm explaining why I don't like these things. I'm using clips as examples to add extra context. Whereas and same goes for like in the live streamer format. Maybe they don't like cut it up as much, but if they're reacting to somebody's video and they're giving extra context or their opinion or why they agree or why they disagree, um, then I don't think that replaces the market for the video. My problem with React content is like, have you ever watched XQC?
Yes, I have.
So XQC is like a really bad habit. He does it to my videos, he does it to everybody's videos, right? Where he will watch the entirety of the video. He will not show what channel this shit's from at all. And he will go ahead and he will not say anything. He will add like, wow, chat, isn't that crazy? No way, chat. Well, that's not adding extra context. That's not
Right.
really agreeing or disagreeing or adding some educational element. That's not providing any argument. There's nothing being added there. It is just a re-upload of the content. Or even if he doesn't re-upload and you just react to it, I don't think he's doing enough there. There's a reason why when he reacts to my content, I get 0 extra views on the original videos.
Right. Okay.
So it depends on how you do it, right? It's like like fair use is something where if you educate yourself on it, I think it's really easy to tell what is and isn't fair use. Up until you get to like a Sniper Wolf video, then I think like I don't know. That's like a gray area. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tricky with those things because, and to be fair to Sniper Wolf, I think, as much as people fucking hate her, which I get,
Hmm.
it does seem like a more recent content. She is speaking more about the clips and talking more about it and is making more substantive takes on it from what I've seen. But I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
like it.
if you're just putting together like 5 30-second TikToks and going, "Oh, that was funny," like that's a bit shady, right?
Right. So it's like, is making like a compilation video fair use? I mean, probably not. So, and that was essentially what she was doing. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, how do you explain to somebody what fair use is that isn't in this space? Like, they're just an average viewer. It's kind of hard. It's just something you got to like take your time to learn about. And I would say like if you watch, uh, let me think. Who's like a big YouTuber? Um, It'd be like if you watch a Turkey Tom video and then you watch the video Turkey Tom is basing it off of. Would you say that those are the same videos? They're completely fucking different, right? And I would say the same when it comes to like a live streamer. If you watch like Destiny or you react to a video, I mean Destiny is maybe not the greatest fucking example because there's times on his live stream where he doesn't say much, but um yeah, I'd say like the few times I've watched you, like you've done a really good job reacting. Would you say it replaces the entire market for that video? You upload a video on my Keffels thing. I wouldn't say that replaces the market. I wouldn't say that makes my video irrelevant. So it's hard to explain without just like saying the same thing over and over again, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's to me. There's this constant argument that people make of like, well, what if you did it to a Lord of the Rings movie? And it's like if you turned Lord of the Rings into like 3 or 4 times the length with constant commentary and insight and takes on it, I think that you could argue that that is fair use because you're using the whole work for something substantive to make a bigger criticism piece or whatever. But the problem is these big
There
movie
are people
studios.
who do that shit with movies though.
Oh, are
It's
they?
just the problem with movies, if they choose to claim it and copyright claim you, are you taking Warner
Yes.
Brothers to court? It's like,
Yes.
no,
Oh
you
my
can't
god.
afford to take Warner Brothers to court.
Yes.
Like,
Thank you.
odds
Yes.
are there is
Exactly.
shit you could do with movies that's fair use, and there are movie companies and studios where when you appeal, they'll let you slide on it because they aren't sure either. But if they want to take you to court, you don't have the means to defend yourself. That's why
Exactly.
they win.
Yes. And in some ways, listen, I'm not trying to victimize. I don't fucking care. Okay, it's all funny to me. I'm having a great time covering this, but I feel a bit like to me, Dark Viper is that movie studio, right? He's lawyered up. He's already spent three thousand
Mhm.
dollars on legal stuff, and I've got like at most in savings like $12,000 to my name. I just do not
Right.
have the funds to fund and
Yeah, I
spend
mean,
for copyright
think
suits.
about any bullshit civil suits. If a son went to sue me over my videos, I couldn't defend myself.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd have to
exactly.
take down the video because guess what, guys? He has more money. Like that's how that shit usually works. Civil cases, you need a lot of money.
Yeah, and
Well, I guess that's it.
I was going to say one more thing, and the other sad thing about it is it does create this chilling effect where you know it makes it more difficult to kind of engage with and respond to people's content who are like that. Like I'm not touching his video now because I don't want him to fucking strike me again, which is a shame because it should be about open discourse and disagreement, and even shitting on each other and calling each other names. That's all part of it for me. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, what kind of content does he even like? I would love to see what his live streams hold.
he does mainly GTA content, I think, GTA speedruns and stuff like that. He
Like
just
let's
released a
play stuff.
Yeah, he just released a video about cheese, but was complaining it didn't do very well, sadly.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that's it. Thank you, Chud.
Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you. Cheers.
Take it easy, man.
Thanks, bye.